Well, now this was a bust of a day. Friday, we should have stayed home, stayed in bed. Rained all day. Well, up to about 5 p.m. NASCAR kept trying to drive the track, finally got a little break for about 10 minutes. 28 cars got out there. Had to call it again, more rain. Drizzle now, they called it quits at 6 o'clock. Jimmie Johnson, Greg Biffle, front row for Sunday's 500. Hey, this is the 10th time this year NASCAR has been forced to start the field on points because of rain. Just as well, I don't think they should be qualifying the way they are anyway. They should be running heat races. That's another story. Today, the economy. Don't know what's going on in Wall Street or anywhere else around the world, but I do know that a lot of people in the garage area, the NASCAR garage area, are worried, especially Dodge teams. I was thinking last week, Dodge teams, the owners, had some game plans. Today, after talking with some company officials out of Detroit, I'm getting the impression that the guys that are going to be around next year, we know that's going to be Ford, we know that's going to be GM, we know that's going to be Toyota, we don't know about Dodge. The three that we know are going to be around are not interested in adding teams. If they do, might be a stretch. Which means the 11 Dodge teams in the NASCAR garage right now are on pins and needles. I talked to one very high-ranking Dodge team official. He said they're all worried about what might happen. It's happened before. American Motors, what happened to them? Hudson, Nash, hey, companies do go down. And if GM ends up with Chrysler, what happens to the Dodge teams? That's the big question right now. And the U.S. economy is so shaky, Dodge, Chrysler said they were going to fire 25% of their payroll. That's a big chunk. Looks to me like if you've got a Dodge team, you better be figuring out what your game plan is for next year without Dodge. The Dodge people I talked to on the record, they insist there's nothing going wrong. It's all smooth sailing, they got contracts in place. Hey, and Dodge, even Mopar's division of Chrysler, even signed a new contract through 2011 to sponsor the NHRA in Denver. Vote of approval? Maybe so. But one guy I talked to who's not with Dodge said the Dodge boys down here will probably be the last to know what's really going on up there in Detroit. Jimmie Johnson on the pole, Greg Biffle on the outside, 149 points down. He's got to really take it to Jimmie this time. All Jimmie's got to do is like cruise to top 10s from here on out, and he's a little better than that, you can say. And I think that it's going to be, let's see, let's pick Jeff Gordon. It's about time he won something. He says if he goes winless the rest of the year, it won't bother him as long as he's preparing for next year. That's a strange way to approach a race. It's been a strange year. We do have new tires. Goodyear came with a little softer right side tire, same left sides. Remember the problems we had here in March? Tony Stewart went on a tirade about Goodyear. Kyle Busch won that race, and he says now it's not Goodyear's fault. It's the car tomorrow. The car tomorrow is just too ill handling. It needs more downforce, and he's right. We've been saying that for over a year. Jack Roush was saying that. A lot of guys were saying that. Rick Hendrick was saying that at California, even after Jimmie Johnson won there. The car tomorrow needs some changes. Goodyear needs some help, and NASCAR's sitting on its hands. Sorry, that's the way it is. Atlanta, Friday, in the rain. Jimmie Johnson, Greg Biffle, 1-2 for Sunday's 500. Mike Mulhern for the Winston-Salem Journal, journalnow.com.